Welcome back to another raw video again, and today I'm going to be going over pretty much what it takes to have the right psychology and the right mindset as a trader, as someone who is a profitable, successful, consistent, self-sufficient trader, not somebody who gets a payout once and you're not consistent, you're emotional, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna basically do a deep dive. A lot of people have been asking me recently, can you please do more mentality style videos related to trading, not necessarily just, okay, like if I'm talking about passing evals or making money on funded accounts or scaling towards 10K months. People don't wanna hear about that. People wanna hear about the psychology aspect, which is super important as a trader. And as a trader, you should be prioritizing, if anything, not your model, but your psychology, because it's super easy to plug and play and find a model that works. But at the end of the day, the reason that 99% of traders don't make money after a year or 2 years is because their psychology and their emotion is playing way too big of a part in their actual execution on the charts and not just following a system and sticking with it. So I'm gonna give you guys some insight as to how I control that, some tips and tricks that I learned along the way to help me manage my emotion and my psychology as a day trader, and basically explain how I've been able to be consistently profitable for the last 13, 14 months. So first thing I want to say is I really appreciate all your guys' comments and suggestions on all the videos. I really do appreciate it because it does help a lot, because it helps me get new ideas and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are asking, they want to see the model, they want a breakdown of my strategy. I think I'll do that one next. But what I will say is, if you really do want education on my strategy, you should just go to my Discord, to be completely honest. As much as it's $100 a month investment, whatever, for the mentorship, the group mentorship, to learn my model, it's 100% worth it, because there's over 20 hours of footage all within the Discord. There's literally breakdowns on a weekly basis of the entire model, so that new people who join always are getting a refresher. But for people who have been in there, you can go back and look back on those recordings, because they're all recorded and posted in the recording section of the Discord as well. So, $100 to learn a model, all you have to do is just use those videos for a month straight, learn the model, and then you can go and be self-sufficient on your own. If you understand the model, all you need is 1 month to join, learn the videos, learn the strategy and the structure that I use to execute my trades, and then you can leave. So that's my biggest suggestion for all you guys who are interested in learning what my strategy is, and I will break it down in a video here soon. But other than that, guys, I really would appreciate some more video ideas and all that kind of stuff. I also really appreciate all the positive support as well. I see a lot of people responding to like hate comments or negative comments and supporting, so I really appreciate that as well. I'm very thankful for all of you guys. So getting into psychology itself now, a big thing for me that I really struggled with, especially in the beginning of my trading, was over trading and not knowing when to get off the charts and not knowing when to end on a red day. And I know a lot of people, even in my close circle, who I've been trying to teach how to trade, or even people that I know from the Discord server, or people in my community that I know who aren't successful at trading because of that exact same problem: over trading, being emotional, and being fearful and greedy surrounding your P&L on a daily basis. So as humans, something we have to understand is we're going to be fearful and we're going to be emotional and greedy with anything that involves money in any sort of aspect of life. Like if it's gambling, if it's trading, even if it's a normal job, right? Like something, for example, that I kind of relate fear and greed and just emotion overall with money is when I used to work at the gym. I used to work at a health club when I was younger, and I had a sales position. So obviously everyone's competing for commission and all that kind of stuff. So people would oftentimes poach other people's clients and all that kind of stuff, and there was different rules associated with who gets what deal within a certain time frame. It has to be like a 14-day waiting period, something like that. And these deals would be like over $30, right? Not super big, life-changing amounts of money. But at the same time, people would genuinely do like really shady things just to steal essentially $30 from another person. So like think about it on a greater scale with something like trading, where you can literally make thousands, hundreds if not thousands of dollars within minutes, out of thin air. So something that you really have to establish just as a trader and someone who wants to be successful is, one, realize that whatever funded account, whatever eval, whatever live account or anything, your own money that you're trading, think about how many evals, funded accounts, how much money you're going to go through in your entire journey of trading if you are really trying to do this long term. Anybody who gets into day trading should ideally be trying to do it long term and make it a career for themselves. So thinking about it in terms of like, oh, today I was green and this week I was green and this month I was green. Don't think about it like that. Think about it as, over the course of years and years and years, will I come out of this a self-sufficient and profitable trader? Because who cares if you make money for a year if the next year you lose all of it? And who cares if you make money like 1 month, right? Let's say July I get a payout, and then in August I spend all that payout money on evals to try scale, and I lose all of the evals because I'm trading emotionally. That payout doesn't matter anymore. I got it for a second, but now I just gave all the money back anyway, so who cares? At the end of the day, you need to be consistent enough and trust in your system and have enough of that emotional control to be able to be profitable over a long period of time. So stop thinking in such short time frames. That's my first suggestion for everybody. Now, a way to kind of combat that and get over it is you have to have trust in your model. Now, a lot of people will build a model and they'll know exactly the framework and they know exactly how to execute. It's the perfect model. It has a set win rate, a set risk to reward. You literally know how much money you can make over the course of 3 months, 6 months, a year using that model because you've back tested it, but you still choose to be emotionally trading. And if anything, it's because you don't truly trust your model. If you genuinely were told by somebody, if you do this one thing every single day and you do it perfect, like let's say somebody asked you to hop onto a computer and every single day, this is this random situation I'm gonna give. It's gonna be a little rough because this is a raw video, but it doesn't matter. Hopefully you guys can understand what I'm saying. Let's say somebody gave you a job where they pay you $1,000 a day, 5 days a week. And all you have to do is sit on a computer for an hour a day. And within that hour, you have to just take one trade that aligns with a model. That's it. One trade that aligns with your model. But the trade result itself, none of the money goes to you. None of the money goes to you. You don't even get to see how much money you make. All you need to do is essentially, you'd be like on a demo account because it wouldn't show the P&L, it wouldn't show anything like that. But all you would do is one time per day within that hour span, let's say it's market open, the first hour of market open, all you need to do is take one trade, execute it with the set framework that they gave you. Win or loss, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna get the $1,000 at the end of the day. They're gonna give you the $1,000 after the end of the hour, and you do that 5 days a week. You would be perfectly fine with that, right? Because you would still be getting guaranteed money and you wouldn't feel emotional about the money that you're winning or losing because it doesn't really affect you in the long term. You're just getting that $1,000 at the end of the hour regardless. So think about it like that. Put yourself in the mind frame of, if I continue and I stick with this system and this model, I will get paid. Think about it like that. Even if you have an all red week, know that because of the probability of your strategy, and hopefully you've back tested your strategy and made sure it's one that actually is profitable over time, know and trust that in your strategy, if you stick with it for a long enough time frame, you are going to make money and you are going to be profitable and you are going to get that end result that you want, which is a positive number in your bank account, not you spending all the money that you get from payouts and rinsing and repeating. So that's something that really, it's a perspective that really helped me because, and I don't remember where I heard that, but it really helped me because at the end of the day, it's true. If I have a red day 2 days in a row, because of my model and because of the back-tested stats that I have, I know that if I ever have 2 losing trades in a row where I followed my A+ setup on both trades, there is literally like less than a 10 to 15% chance that I'm going to lose the 3rd day in the row. I'm either gonna get a break even or I'm gonna win. And that has been true for like months on end. I have not had more than 2 losing days in a row trading my A+ model like in the last 6 months. The only time that I've had more than 2 losing days in a row is a time where I would break my system, I would get emotional, I would take more than 1 trade per morning because I only trade New York AM session, take more than 1 trade per morning. And yeah, that's the only time that I've ever not seen success with my model is when I jumped off the wagon. I broke my rules and I didn't follow the system that I set for myself. So that's another thing, just sticking with your system and knowing that at the end of your, let's say a year span, let's say for a year you follow your model, you will come out of it profitable if you have a model that is actually back tested and forward tested to be proven to work at the end of that time frame. And to have that trust, all you need to do is back test a little bit more. Understand that, okay, I will win, on average, I will win 7 out of every 10 trades that I take, and I will have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio over the course of a year straight. Do you really think after getting that amount of data, doing hundreds of trades and guaranteeing yourself that if you take that A+ setup, you will make money and you will win 7 out of 10 of your trades on average over the course of a full year? Do you really think if you knew that, guaranteed, that you would still be trading emotionally? Probably not. Most likely you would not. And think about it like this. Every time that you trade emotionally and it goes right, Because everybody watching this video, most likely, including myself, has traded emotionally and won, and everyone watching this video, including myself, has traded emotionally and lost. But when you win, it reinforces that belief that, okay, I can trade emotionally and I can still make money. So what you need to do is just eliminate the habit completely, because you will never get the reward of winning once you emotionally trade. And I hope if you are consistently emotionally trading that you are losing, because that's the only way that you're gonna break out of that habit if you don't recognize it soon enough. The only way that I broke my overtrading habit is by literally blowing thousands and thousands of dollars on evals, because I was literally not even trading my system, I was just trying to be green on the day. That is a true story. So everybody goes through it. So that's something that you guys have to realize as well. Now, a third thing, this is gonna be my final point. My camera's actually about to die, it looks like. Maybe I should charge it. I don't think I can. But this is gonna be my third and final point. I'm trying to remember what it was. This is literally raw. I'm literally thinking of this as I'm recording this video. What was I gonna say? Oh, I'm not coming into the market to execute every single day. You need to get out of the mind frame of I'm going to execute every single time that I jump into the market. You need to come into the market with your model and say, I'm looking for my perfect A+ setup, and I'm going to make it harder for myself to take a trade than I will for myself to not take a trade. Yes, I think I got that right. Make it hard for yourself to execute a trade because you are being so stringent and strict on your model and making sure that it is an absolutely perfect A+ setup. Be super stingy and understand that if you miss out on a setup, that is perfectly fine, because at the end of the day, you are being so stringent to avoid those losses that would have happened for all the times that you're not. So think about that. If you miss a setup, don't be upset. Like, let's say you miss a setup and it plays out. Don't be upset, because know that there are going to be times where you would have taken a setup, and because you weren't stringent and strict on your model, you're going to lose. So just think about that every time that you miss a setup. Think about that as well. So make it difficult for yourself to come into the market and execute every day, because you are being so strict on the fact that your model has to play out absolutely perfectly for you to even want to execute. And if you go into the market every single day with your model, patient and trying to do things that way, there's no reason why you should fail long term. And if you don't have a model that you know and you trust and that you can stick with over the course of 6 months to a year time frame, you need to go and find one and stick with it and absolutely study up and learn on it for months on end until you absolutely know, guaranteed, that it either works or doesn't work. Don't just strategy hop because for 1 week of back testing your model didn't work. Find a model or find someone who's teaching a model and learn it, and make sure that you know every single part of that model. And then go and back test it and prove to yourself that that model does work. So that's my advice for all of you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about just overall trading psychology, please let me know. Like I said, give me video ideas, everything like that. I appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, see you guys soon.